Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and if you see here, this is a paper towel. And all I did was I got glue, water, and Mod Podge, and I soaked paper towels in them, and then I squeezed out the water and I put them on a pan and let them dry. These are going to be lightweight and sturdy, and they're going to have neat textures that we can use in crafting. So I'm going to grab one of these. Any one of these will do. This one's bottom popped when I was pulling it off, so I didn't do it great, but we're going to get one of those. Now you want to get a piece of game board or anything else where you want your hill to sit on. Let me see if I have a piece of game board handy. I do. Of course I do somewhere. Game board, where are you? Couldn't find any game board. I'm going to use some cardstock. But because cardstock bends easy and is not super resilient, I'm going to cut it twice. Trying to get this on here, the first one. Get it down, push it down, mush it down. I'm going to get it on this one. Get it down, push it down, mush it around. There we go. Now, so this is easier to handle and work with. I'm just going to glue it to the top of a paint lid. And I'm going to spray paint it. Easiest color to spray paint would be a brown, right? But I'm going to use black. Because I don't like easy. I like pain in the ass. Actually, yeah, use them. Now, I don't know how long I let this dry. I think it might have been 2 days, or it might have been overnight. I might have done it yesterday. I don't even know, the days all run together. I did make a video of this already, but I made some mistakes and I did some swearing. I don't like an excessive amount of swearing in my videos. I did paint this with Mod Podge and black paint last time, but we're here to make things quick. Piece of cardboard. Burnt umber. Where's my horrible brush? Horrible brush. Once you have it good and covered, hot air gun. Then I'm going to get a lighter brown and a big soft brush. And I grabbed burnt umber for my lighter color. Let me try that again. This is called melted chocolate. I'm just going to get a little bit of that here. I'm going to get my softer brush, gather up a lot of that. And I'm going to dry brush that around. It's not really a dry brush, but it's kind of a brush. A wet brush, I guess. Okay, then I'm going to use that same brush. I'm going to get a tiny bit of pavement. And dab it around here, just like that. Hit it with a hot air gun. Now I'm going to get a lighter gray and a small soft brush. Boop, 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 boop. And a lighter gray. I'm using elephant gray here. I'm just going to dab around some of the outside there and create some variation. Just like that. I'm going to dab up this top a little better. Okay. Just like that. Now we have a pretty decent looking exposed little bit of rock there. I'm going to get some flock. Doesn't matter what flock you use. I'm going to use a green. I'm going to get a disposable brush, some clear glue. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get around the cracks where it's on the base. And I'm going to hit that area first and use that to kind of hide that seam since I didn't do it with my glue. I need more clear glue there. If there's any weird folds that are just simply not going to look okay, like there's one here that's kind of big and deep, I'm just going to get glue on that and I'm going to cover it with some of my flock. I'm just going to use some homemade flock that I have. For my first little coating here, I'm just going to get it over my bin. I'm going to sprinkle that around. And all this flock is sawdust with green paint on it. That's all it is. It's nothing fancy. I just soaked it in green paint and rubbing alcohol. And when I get more sawdust, I'll make a video on how you do that. But my sawdust guy has let me down, and I keep forgetting to ask him about it. Now there's a little spot over here that needs hit. I'm just going to get in there. Sprinkle some sawdust. Okay. We got a little spot here where I missed some. Okay. And then you don't want yours to all be the same, so we're going to get some variation on that. And to get the variation, all I'm going to do, I'm going to get some more glue. I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to drag it down into the sawdust a little bit in a couple spots. Okay. I'm going to get a different color of green. And this is just homemade sawdust as well. Well, the sawdust isn't homemade, but the flock sure is. So I'm going to get some darker green. I'm going to get that in. Okay. Then, just to add some more greenery to this in some spots, I'm just going to get a couple spots higher up here. I'm going to get some glue. Create a jagged shape where I don't like the way the edge of that rock looks right there. I don't like the way it looks right there. Okay, I'm going to use that darker green. Now I'm going to get some foliage for my thingy bob here. And this is Spanish moss from probably the Dollar Tree. And I want to use this kind of big clump to create a bush. So I'm going to go over here where I have nothing. And I'm going to pinch this all together. And that's where it's going to go. Get my glue. Make a good size thing. And I'm going to shove it down, working it back and forth and getting plenty of surface area. And I'm going to shove that down on there. Pull out this pine stem. Or whatever the hell it is. Can't get with that. And this is a little bigger off the side than I wanted. So I'm just going to get a pair of snips. Just make a curve and cut around there, just like that. And then let's put one more little something interesting on here. And I need something green. I'm looking for green shit. I got more green shit than you could ever ask for. I got this. Some other kind of moss. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to twist that with a flat bottom. Come over here on the side where I have a little bit of surface. And I'm going to shove it down, rub it around, and get a good bond. And it's a little taller than I wanted. So I'm just going to add that there. Could have used a smaller piece. If I didn't use a smaller piece, it'll be okay. Now, if you have any kind of natural rocks from outside, that'd be good. And since I don't, I'm going to use rocks that are from not outside. If I can figure out where the hell I put them. Here we go. Now, these are just little rocks from, I don't remember where, Dollar Tree maybe? So let's get some tweezers. A little bit of super glue. And we're just going to grab a rock. Find some interesting places to put those. Making sure we use that super glue to get a very good bond. Oops. I'll try it again. It's not going well because I'm rushing. There we go. Now, if you don't have any super glue on the top of your rocks, everything's looking pretty stable. That one's moving around a little bit yet. If you had your super glue all dried on those, you could hit this with a dry brush or light gray, but I don't think you need it. And that is a pretty decent sized piece of terrain that a miniature could definitely stand on. It also could provide some cover or some concealment, and it was easy to make. Took about 15 minutes. Make sure it's dry all the way. Hit it with a clear coat if you want to. I won't hit it with a clear coat because I don't really need too much terrain like this. It's just something I wanted to show you guys. There's a video I made that failed miserably because I lost my temper. It was right after I had been in the hospital and my hand wouldn't work. And I was cussing and yelling and throwing shit and acting like a child pretty much. So there you go. Nice little piece of scatter for your fantasy world. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and all the happy crappy that helps the channel grow. And check out the links in the description to dungeonswag.com and the Discord. And there's also a discount code down there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.